Have you ever wondered why cars drive on the right in Britain? It's not just a random choice or a quirky British tradition. The reasons go back hundreds of years, rooted in history and practical necessity. In the Middle Ages, most people were right-handed. When knights, the superheroes of their time, rode their horses in battle, they carried their swords in their right hands. As a result, they wanted their opponents on their right side, so they could swing their swords more effectively. This meant they rode on the left side of the road, so incoming traffic would be on their right. Fast forward to the 18th century. With the rise of horse-drawn carriages, driving on the left became a problem. You see, these carriages were usually driven by a postilion, a rider who sat on the left rear horse. This was because the driver's whip, held in the right hand, needed to reach all the horses. Therefore, it made sense to ride on the right side of the road to better judge the oncoming traffic and the center of the road. Now, this is where Britain diverged from the rest of Europe. Despite the logic of postilion riders, Britain stuck to its left-hand driving. Why? Well, it's thanks to the influence of one man, Richard Trevithick. In the early 19th century, Trevithick introduced the first steam-powered vehicle. These vehicles were large and needed a crew of 2 to operate, a driver and a fireman to stoke the engine. The driver sat on the right so the fireman could work on the left, away from oncoming traffic. And since these vehicles were so huge, they naturally set the trend for all traffic. So in summary, the reason cars drive on the right in Britain can be traced back to medieval knights, 18th century carriage drivers, and 19th century engineers. It's a fascinating story of historical practicality and individual influence. And the next time you're driving on the left in Britain, remember, you're not just following a rule, you're participating in a centuries-old tradition. Isn't history fascinating?